Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to show you 12 online t-shirt business ideas and also ways for you to come up with even more than that. I'm just going to show you a bunch of examples of stuff that's selling really well online on a few different t-shirt websites. And I'm going to show you kind of what to look for as far as if you want to start a business like this. So the first type of tip I want to give you is think of how you describe yourself. People want t-shirts and they buy t-shirts online from individuals, usually because you're either like a fan of those people or you want to be labeled as part of this certain community, like vegans. That's like a community. People love that brand and what it stands for, and a lot of people want others to know that they associate themselves as a vegan. Another thing you could do is, what kind of sports do you like? What's your zodiac sign? Things like that. So you could use pretty much anything that you would describe yourself as a t-shirt business. So think of how you describe yourself. Write down some words on a list that you could use. What are you a fan of? Are you a fan of a certain weird type of music? Are you a fan of a certain sport? What kinds of apparel do other brands have as well? You can get ideas from that. Like say you are into basketball. Well, you could go and look at the Los Angeles Lakers. What all different types of t-shirts do they have? Obviously, you can't use the Lakers emblem because that would be a copyright problem, but that's just a way of looking at it. You could look at the store of certain brands and get ideas that way as well. So one thing you could do is a definition shirt, and one that's done really well is this company or this group of people that has done these engineering shirts. So these engineering shirts, you can see right here, someone who does precision guesswork based on unreliable data provided by those of questionable knowledge. And then it says, see also wizard and magician. So it's kind of just a funny definition type shirt. So it would really associate with people who have an engineering degree of some sort. So you could do definition shirts for all different types of, careers, for instance, things like that. Another thing you could do, I've seen YouTubers do this. Like if you know who Philip DeFranco is, he does news and he's got like millions of YouTube followers and stuff like that. He does controversial and, scandalous type news on YouTube. And then he had a presidential shirt that I'm sure a lot of his fans bought, and it's like DeFranco 2024. And it has like, red stripes and a blue star. Obviously, that's for like the US. You could do something different for a different country, of course. But the great thing about it is this is something that's so easy to make. You could literally go on a site like 99designs.com and have somebody who's a professional artist or someone who just kind of does it on the side but is really talented. You could have an individual do it, or you can have a competition. You could run a competition for people and pick the best design, and that's the one who makes the money. But you don't have to be an artist yourself to do this, of course. But that's one place I would recommend to get it done. But that would be great if you're like a social media influencer, like on Instagram or YouTube or something like that, or on gaming. And speaking of gaming, the next one is like a logo shirt. And the example I have for you is Ninja. If you are someone who likes Twitch, you know who Ninja is. He's the top earning gamer on live streaming right now, and he's worth millions and millions of dollars. He just did a promotion for Apex Legends, which is a new game that came out, and this is his logo. If you go to twitch.com or twitch.tv, or if you go to Twitter and you look up Ninja pretty much anywhere, this is like his logo. All right, obviously he's just like a young guy with blue hair and stuff, but he actually has all kinds of shirts and apparel and stuff with his logo on it. And that's what he looks like right there. But literally, you could go to his website and sell something like that. Now, this is only if you have a logo for your specific brand. Do not ever use the logo of any other brand, even if they're just a small-time, YouTuber or Twitch streamer, always have your own custom logo and make sure it's really good and professionally done and before you put it on a t-shirt, and make sure you own it. It is not going to violate any copyright problems. You can't just go and be like, oh, I like Marvel, I'll make a Marvel shirt. No, you'll get sued. So again, you can get logos made at 99 Designs. You can go to designcrowd.com as well. You could go to a site like upwork.com, or pretty much any place where graphic designers might be. Another thing you do is a funny animal shirt. So you see a lot of cat videos on YouTube. You see all kinds of memes on Reddit and stuff, and a lot of it has to do with funny dogs, cats, and other animals. And they have entire, subreddits and, websites and stuff dedicated to this. So one thing you could do is do stuff related to that. So something that's sold very well on Zazzle, which is like Teespring. The first couple I showed you were at teespring.com, but Zazzle is another place where you can sell t-shirts on demand online. And one thing you could do, like, are you kidding me, right? Meow. So that's like a funny, just very simple cat thing. Literally, you could just come up with a saying or something and just have somebody design it on 99 Designs, and you're ready to go. You start selling these for $25 or more per shirt, and you could turn it into hoodies. You could turn it into all kinds of stuff. Have different colors, whatever. So that would be an example of like a cat one. You can see it has over 4,000 ratings with a 4.7 out of 5-star rating. It's so simple. Another thing you could do is like a community shirt. Now, this could mean multiple things. I've seen this done multiple ways. Now, you could do this for you could do something like for your high school football team. You could do something for, now obviously I'm not sure how logos work as far as that goes, but I'm thinking more of like an event or like a city or something like that. I'll get more into cities and states and stuff in a minute, but also as like a YouTuber or a influencer on social media of any kind, you could have a shirt for people who are your fans. So for instance, I don't think he even sells t-shirts for his group. He just now started calling his group Eavesdroppers, but this guy's name is Daryl Eves. He's basically a YouTube consultant, helps people build YouTube channels. Great channel. I definitely recommend it if you're trying to learn more about YouTube marketing. But he started, because his last name is Eves, he started calling his people eavesdroppers. So this is one thing a lot of YouTube marketers teach, is to come up with a name for your community or your fans or your subscribers. So that's something you could do. He could do like t-shirts with eavesdroppers on there and sell them on Teespring and Zazzle and other websites. Another thing is, I've seen, now this is kind of a sensitive thing. I recommend if you do something for like hurricane relief, like this one, like where a community comes together after a tornado hits or a hurricane hits or something like that. A lot of people will do this, but you shouldn't make it a business. You should make this all go to relief funds or for charity or for fixing up houses and stuff for people or getting supplies for people that were hit by this. That's the only way I would ever recommend you do a shirt like this, is if you donate everything you make from it to the community that was hit. All right. So just to be clear on that. Another thing is country, state, and city pride shirts. So that's kind of similar to what I just showed you, but instead of like a disaster relief, you could do something, a little more positive, and like, if you're from Detroit and you're proud of it, Detroit, Michigan, then you could get something like this, literally made in Detroit. You were born in Detroit. Okay, there you go. 4,400 reviews plus 4.6 out of 5 stars, and made in all kinds of different colors and print stuff. It's such a simple shirt, and it's just something that people take pride in. It's something that they label themselves as somebody who's from a certain city, and they're proud of it. Another thing you could do is, obviously, there's a lot of superhero movies and stuff right now. And there's a lot of even sub characters in movies and shows that get a lot of like niche fan bases. Like, you know, it'd be like somebody who has maybe a very small part in a show and they'll get like this big fan base or this subreddit that loves them. Stuff like that can actually be turned into t-shirts as well. If they're a fan of anything, it could be turned into a t-shirt idea. Just make sure you don't draw the actual cartoon character exactly the way it is. Do not use any logos. Do not use any copyrighted slogans or anything like that. Be very careful with this. But you've seen, like, for a while they thought a Gambit movie was going to come out with Channing Tatum in it. Now, if you're a fan of like X-Men, you would know what I'm talking about. But Gambit kind of looks like this in a way. You can look up pictures of him on the internet. He's just a cartoon character from comic books and stuff. But it's just like a really dumbed down version, logo version of that character, and it just says check your pocket. So literally Channing Tatum was wearing this shirt. I don't know if he bought it from like a individual who made these or if he had it made himself or what, but you can actually buy them on sites like Redbubble, which is another t-shirt site. So it's something like this is like an alternative version that's probably not going to have copyright problems of characters that you might like on movies and stuff. Another one is age and family shirts. So this would be like, I'm a grandfather or I'm 95 years old. And you could have shirts dedicated to stuff like that. Like, so a Nana, from my part of the country, I think of that as like a grandmother. So you're proud of being a grandmother. I'm sure a lot of grandmothers would love to have stuff like this. And you can see that it is true because it is a top seller. It's got that rating on Teespring. So like it's a Nana thing. And then some words to describe how they feel about being a Nana. So something like that, you could sell that for age groups. You could make stuff. Certain websites actually have sites, or certain sites have stuff where you can make like baby clothing and stuff as well. So if you have toddlers or you want to make a line of stuff for toddlers, you can literally sell on-demand t-shirts for them as well. You just have to get the right website. And I'm going to have like a video or two at the end of this that you can go to afterwards if you want the websites that help you do all this stuff. Diet and lifestyle shirts. So a diet and lifestyle shirt, of course, I mentioned earlier, vegans. You have paleo. You have carnivore diet people. You have, there's all kinds of diets out there. You have Beachbody. You have vegetarian, whatever. So keto, that's another one I was trying to think of. You have keto. So there's all these different people, and their lifestyle has a lot to do with their diet. And their diet is something that they take very seriously, and it's a part of who they are. So you can make t-shirt brands based on this, like Save a Cow, Go Vegan, for instance. And they have like a view of this where you can see that it has like a cow on a moon, and it's like Save a Cow, Go Vegan, and obviously that has to do with the diet. And it's got a really good rating. It's very simple design, and it's got 1,100 plus reviews, which means it's got probably tens of thousands of people who have bought it, because a very small percentage of people leave reviews. Probably 5% or less of people who buy something leave a review. So keep that in mind. A lot of people have bought that. So something like that for like a diet or lifestyle type of habit. Sports shirts, another thing. People love sports. There are actually new sports being invented and stuff too that you could go after. Like instead of doing basketball, which I love basketball, but you could do something more niche that could kind of make your competition easier. Or make you, the big fish in a small pond, so to speak. So instead of doing something big like football or basketball or soccer, you could do something like, let's say you did ultimate frisbee or something like that, or frisbee golf or something like that. Just something that is not as well known. you would probably have so much less competition, but yet you know you have a pretty good niche base of people, and you can market that stuff on Reddit and all kinds of stuff. So like this would be an example of like this girl's got game, and it's got a basketball for the O. It's just an example that's sold pretty well on Zazzle.com, but you could come up with all kinds of designs for different sports. You could use the frisbee or the ball or whatever is used in the sport as the letters and stuff like that. Funny shirts with twisted meanings, that's another thing you could do. These tend to have good sales as well, depending on what they are. But like here's one. A lot of people love Netflix. So now I don't know about using the word Netflix in there. That's kind of, you could make an argument for copyright problems with that, maybe, but I probably wouldn't do that. That's kind of risky, but some people still sell stuff like that and just, risk it. So this one says, I do marathons on Netflix, in parentheses under that, and which is kind of funny because a lot of people are very big into like marathons and fitness and stuff right now. So 4.3 stars out of 5, 2,000 plus reviews. Another thing you could do is suggestive shirts. Obviously, you have to be careful with this as well. But you could do something like this, like if you're a firefighter, this would be kind of funny. The harder you get, the faster we come. Now you can figure out what that means on your own time. Obviously, I don't want to get too far into that, but that's kind of a funny thing that's kind of suggestive that could have multiple meanings and, stuff like that. So kind of some adult humor on a shirt without being too like obvious. There's a lot of stuff like that. Like if you've ever been to Mexico, there's t-shirt shops just covered and stuff like that. And one more thing, as far as like just another funny type of shirt that has multiple meanings, like this one's is really like cheesy, but in my opinion, but you could do something like this where it says, I wear this shirt periodically, and it has a periodic table as like the logo. Apparently people really like this shirt as well. So again, just as like an idea or two, you could do like, all right, how do I describe myself? This is how you can come up with t-shirt ideas. I describe myself as, let's say I said I'm a vegan. I'm just using this as an example. Okay. Don't freak out in the comments or anything. I'm just using this as like hypothetical. This does not describe me. You could say you're a Virgo, which is like that's your zodiac symbol. You could say you're a basketball fan. You could say, you're a grandmother. So you could use all kinds of things to describe yourself. Let's say, you want to do personality. Let's say I'm an introvert. Just stuff like that. You could literally go on and on and on and make t-shirts for all these different things. So if you want more websites like this, I'm going to link to a playlist that will have some different websites that you can go to get this kind of stuff done. And these types of websites will basically show you where you can go to get these done without having to go through big manufacturers and order big orders of hundreds of shirts or thousands of shirts that you have to sell one by one out of your garage and put a lot of money into before you sell anything. Instead, you can use something like Teespring, and then I have like 29 other sites on some of these lists that will help you with selling this stuff without having to make big orders, deal with customer service, manufacturing, having your own website, or any of that kind of stuff. So the easiest way to literally set this up, I'll have a playlist here at the end. Click on that right here, and that'll show you how to do that and where to go. So hopefully this is helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.